Hello down here behind the label. So excited for this episode of our podcast. We have Mark Hughes from Beans.ie, and Beans.ie is a marketplace in which Mark tries to introduce people of Ireland to the world of specialty coffee by getting limited edition coffees in from different roasters from America, Bali, everywhere you can think of. As well as that, he has a website that he hosts Irish roasters themselves, where they you can go get coffees from all different types of roasters. Really cool episode. Amazing to hear the origin of Mark. And please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. Enjoy the episodes. Thank you. Mark, thank you very much for jumping on the podcast. Behind the Label podcast is all about finding out about the people behind a brand, whether that's a personal brand or a company. And we know you are Mark from Beans.ie, which I can't wait to touch on Beans.ie. But before we get on to that, would you mind explaining or sharing who Mark is as a person?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks Emil for having me on. I'm really impressed with this place, so congratulations.
Thank you.
For everything.
Appreciate it.
I'm delighted to be here. A little bit about me: I'm a software engineer by trade, and big into sports. Play Gaelic and basketball.
Class.
And yeah, I have a passion for specialty coffee. I've been in the industry for about 6 years, and absolutely loving being part of the specialty coffee community.
Yeah.
And in building out Beans.ie.
So there's a lot to unpack there. Software engineer. I was actually wondering about your background, and I purposely wasn't asking questions because I was excited to ask you on the podcast. And so way back to school and sports and even secondary school and stuff. Did you always know you wanted to be a software engineer, or what were your interests?
I did, yeah. And I had my eyes on a course in ECU. It was actually between a software engineer or going into sports therapy. But I think at the time, I just seen a little bit more opportunity, and I just had a natural interest in computers. I was building websites for family and friends, and I just enjoyed it. So I knew that going into that course would have been
something you just enjoyed.
Yeah, something that I had a natural interest in.
Deadly. And what sports did you always play as a kid?
Always played basketball and Gaelic as a kid. Yeah.
Basketball is an interesting one because none of my friends circles play basketball. Who you're you're the fourth person on the podcast, and you're the second one that has played basketball. Really did, yeah. James Coffey, oh yeah, Hardew, he was big into basketball as well. It's such a cool sport. You still watch it?
I watch it closer when the playoffs. I wouldn't watch it throughout the year because just the time zone. I'm different, sorry.
There's so many games as well in the regular season.
A lot of games, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's a totally different tempo or well, for basketball, it's just a different movement. It's a lot more left to right, where Gaelic is more fitness, more kind of explosive speed. And so and on basketball, there's only 5 people and it's a smaller court, so it's a more technical game. And so I think playing both is a nice combination.
Okay. And who did you play Gaelic for?
Clontarf. I've always played for Clontarf, yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to play for Plunkets. They're always terrible.
The Plunkets are a great job.
They are, yeah. Always not good though. They're good starter on the bench. But I actually enjoyed Gav. They made us play hurling when we were kids as well, and I always thought that was the normal thing. But apparently, it was just because we didn't have enough players for hurling.
Oh yeah,
they then do both.
Yeah, I play for just graduated way too.
Yes, so you got so much respect for anyone who plays or pride in the life of it. Like,
I actually, if I was gonna watch a sport between the two, I'd probably prefer to watch hurling. Like, it's just amazing to watch. It's just so fast, and yeah, like
even Gaelic now, you need to be so fit. Like, not that you didn't when I was younger and stuff, but like now it just seems like they're so fit. It's insane.
Yeah, the game, well, in the last few years has been played a lot through the hands, more so, and kick pass and stuff. Well, I think that the new rules anyway will hopefully change that. But yeah, Gaelic is, if you are really fit and you're a good athlete, you can excel in it, definitely.
And do you still play? You still play?
Yes, I'm playing with, I just went back there last month, so really happy to be back involved. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm with one part.
Nice. And do you have any other hobbies? So obviously coffee is one and it's your career. Sports, do you have anything else you do?
No, I think that pretty much takes up all my time. Is it all? Yeah. Also love to travel any chance that I get. So And in between that, I'm pretty much ran off my feet.
Yeah, I can imagine. The days will look very quick.
Yeah.
And then the software engineer. So talk to us about that. DC, you did it in?
Yeah. I studied there for 4 years. Absolutely loved it. And then I was working and graduated and ended up working out in Ryanair for a few years.
Class.
And once COVID hit, I felt like COVID was really tough here in Ireland, just with the restrictions and stuff. I just thought it was real tough. So I went over to London and got a job in London. And I spent about 2 or 3 years there before coming back to Ireland last year.
Wow. Why didn't know you're in London for 3 years?
Yeah. That kind of, because I started Beans in 2019. And then just about a year into COVID is when I went over to London. And then I took a break from Beans because I couldn't really do it in London. And yeah, so came back last year and started things back up.
Okay. So how long were you in the workforce since you graduated from DCU before you started Beans in 2019? What was your job in that period?
I was working in Ryanair as a software.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So that took up the whole period. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then what were you doing in London?
I was working and just enjoying London.
Just enjoying.
Yeah. It's such a good, like, I absolutely love it there. And yeah,
It's so vibey.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I was over there with my brother. A lot of my friends are there, and yeah, it's just has just a really nice scene to it. It's a city for young people. There's something to do every weekend, whether it's nice restaurants, concerts, festivals, everything. It's brilliant.
Food and everything, cafes,
Cafe.
What was your favorite cafe over there and restaurant?
Anywhere where they served assembly.
Oh, assemblies.
Yeah, I really like Assembly Coffee. Origin is really good over there. And Shoreditch just has heaps of cafes. Yeah, I think I've been to pretty much most of them. I love Kiss the Hippo too. Like the experience where in Kiss the Hippo they have their roaster in the cafe, so you see the guys working and they're also serving coffee as well. I really like that.
Wow. And is that where so you started being in 2019, so obviously you had a love for coffee before 2019?
Oh yeah, big time. You would have everyone in my family is big into coffee, so we always bought from roasters.
Wow. Yeah, and you were young, that's mad.
Well, I would say at least until home brewing really kicked off. So maybe 2 or 3 years even before COVID, before I set up Beans, we were buying coffee from Bell Lane and Triafi.
Deadly. And how are you brewing at home? Through espresso machine?
At home, no, we just in the family has the guys just use a French press.
Deadly.
Yeah, and then I think myself, my brother moved on to the AeroPress, and then after that, I think I have every brewer under the sun now.
There's too many to even count nowadays. I remember doing the competition recently, and there was brewers I hadn't seen ever. It's going so behind. I need to catch up in this. I think that's the first person I've talked in the industry that said your family was drinking specialty coffee. Normally it's my mom or my granddad or whoever it may be has a French press. They have absolute muck coffee, but that's how I get into coffee. I started, but that's the first time I've heard that the family were drinking. That's cool.
My granddad is a character. He really likes the finer things in life, and he used to bring back coffee from Imbibe, and then we would be tasting it. And then my granddad would have been 88 at the time. And we would be blown away by the coffees that he was bringing home, and that was our introduction in. Because once you get into specialty coffee, it's very hard to go back. And I think that was my introduction. So yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
And what do you think his introduction was? So if he likes the finer things in life, if coffee led me to say cheese, sourdough, whatever.
Yeah, wine.
Yeah. Do you think wine got him into coffee, maybe, or just general?
Yeah, and I'd say so. He's really knowledgeable on wine, and so would he could taste wine and tell you exactly where it's from. I always found that was really interesting.
That's class.
And now I've kind of got my palate to a place. Not that I can do it with wine, but I can definitely do it with coffee. I don't know about you, but I could, if you listed out coffees in front of me, I could tell you I would have a very good idea where
Well,
they're from.
that's a big skill because it like takes so much practice. Yeah, fair play. Like I've definitely been out of the loop of it where I was talking around KSG, but wasn't tasting coffee every day like I used to. To roasting, so like it's very quickly you fall out of the habit. So fair play. That's class. So you're doing so much patience. So well done.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the entrepreneurship. Are you the first entrepreneur in your family, or did you get that from someone
No, everyone in my family has their own business. Yeah.
badly?
Or at least works for themselves. So my sister is killing it at the moment. She has a female health supplement, and they're doing really well.
Out the name out to one.
It's called Gigi, and they're killing it. And yeah, my mom has her own hair salon. My dad's into he has his own satellite business. So everyone, it's definitely been in the family.
That's deadly. Yeah, so you're in good company because like obviously entrepreneurship can be very lonely at times. So like at least you have people to bounce ideas off and kind of get
Yeah,
steerable.
it definitely, I can see the amount of hard work that it takes. And you know, you got to just take the small wins. And yeah,
A good way of looking at it because like you do need to take small wins because you very easily overlook them onto the next thing. So Beans.ie 2019, talk to us about that. What made you set it up? I know you're talking about COVID, was it?
it was during COVID. So we were obviously drinking a lot of coffee at home, but I would have gone to local cafes as well. And it was when you couldn't get to those cafes, I started sharing the coffees that we were buying with family, friends, aunts and uncles. And then they were looking for more. So I was ordering from roasters, and then I was just giving it to my family and friends during COVID. So that's kind of where I spotted an opportunity to, you know, actually expand. And we had a subscription service that did really well. And I had already made a few connections in the coffee industry. Natalia from Hard Beans in Poland. Have you ever heard of?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. They were the first roaster that we worked with. So yeah, it just kind of grew from there. So there was always like an international element to beans where I wanted to try and source coffees that weren't necessarily accessible here in Ireland. Um,
And
so
then you had a good route to market because obviously your background, you could make websites pretty
yeah,
easily. So
love doing that.
yeah, do you?
Oh yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Do you still do that? Do you do that freelance or anything or?
And no, I'm 100% just on beans that yeah.
So I can imagine you have the work that goes into it. So like, are you? Sorry, you're 100% as in full time being somebody now, or you still have your software?
I still work as a software engineer. The plan is to go 100% into beans.ie. But yeah, I'm still working a 9 to 5, let's say.
Deadly. So like, you have then so many entrepreneurs in your family. You started Beans.ie. You started working with Hardbean. What was the next step, or who was the next? Do you remember who the next roaster was you were working with?
I always I think it was Cat and Cloud over in California.
Oh, you're talking about.
Um,
I think I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember Beans. I think during 2019 and COVID, I could definitely remember you from Hard Bean. I think I remember Cat Cloud as well.
yeah,
I think I might have seen it around.
we had them on last year as well.
Okay.
But I've been following them. They were US barista champions. So I had been like, there was a lot of roasters, let's say, that one of the reasons I started Beans was because I couldn't necessarily afford to order coffee from California.
Yeah.
But if I had all my family and friends in, I could pool up some money and then put a larger order in, and it made sense where everyone could get a bag for €20. So then I had a few roasters that I really wanted to try. So it was nice. Like we had Tim Wendelby on, Coffee's Amazing, the Cabra, and all of the best roasters. So yeah,
it's a cool way to fund your hobby as well.
exactly. And that's all it was at that time. And then it kind of grew length.
And how did you get into the market? Was it Instagram ads or
Marketing it?
sorry, into the market? Like, as in, was it Instagram ads or how did you get the word out initially?
Just through family, friends.
Just
yeah.
And that's how it grew. Well,
That's how it grew. And then on Instagram, I wasn't overly confident on Instagram. That's something that's like taken a long time to get in front of the camera. Even here is a big deal for me. Anyway, so yeah, I just think over time, just slowly grew the page out.
You're mine now.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, come on.
I'm really making an effort, I have to say. Like, it's not easy,
Yeah.
but I'm really doing my best. Like, we're doing events. I'm pushing myself to do an event every month across Ireland, try and get the word out and trying to meet as much of my customers as possible. And that's been really nice and people are enjoying it. Being able to showcase all the coffees that we're sourcing.
Fair play, because they're like, I can imagine it's exhausting.
Oh, it is. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, I love it.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't find it exhausting, but it's like a roaster may have 5, 6, maybe even 10 or 12 coffees on their site. I would have 12 coffees on my site every month, and that rotates. You know, it's constant movement of coffees. Coffee is seasonal. So that's kind of what I want beans to be, is rotating through and loads of different coffees as the seasons change.
Deadly. And do you have criteria of new roasters, or is it just something if you like the taste of their coffee, or is there a specific brand guidelines or anything like that?
I think not really. Like, relationship is really important for me. Like, it's the number one. And then you can always work from there. Like, if you taste the coffee and you don't think it's great, I mean, you can have a conversation with the roaster and you can change things up and tell them exactly what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Even with yourself, you were a customer of mine before I became a customer of yours, and now it's great to have behind the label on my site. I'm delighted.
Thank you.
And the same with Craig from Catalyst. Craig's taught me so much in coffee, and now it's gone full circle, and we have all the Craig's coffees up on our website. So for me, it's about relationships. So just trying to really focus on building on the existing relationships that I have. Next month, we're bringing expat on who are based in Bali. I don't know if you've tried them last year.
I didn't, but I've seen your videos. You were in Bali last year, eh? Yeah, and you were chatting to them. Yes, I've seen the video, so definitely give it back to this.
Your man Shay Makamara, who owns Expat, is actually, his family's from Ireland, so it's a really nice story there. And so we're working with him again next month, and then the following month we're bringing Stereoscope on, who we had last.
Yeah, I remember him.
And it's just great being able to reconnect back with those roasters and just build upon the relationship that we have. We had a really, like, our best seller last month was last year was a coffee from Vietnam. It was Vietnam done. Oh, I probably butchered that, but anyway, people went mad about it. It was a natural anaerobic from Vietnam, which you rarely see. So we're bringing that coffee back on, and yeah, like that's kind of what I want to do, is just build up relationships and with roasters. Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
And I actually, touching on when you were in Bali and stuff, I remember last year you relaunched Beans. I remember I had been following you from the time you started way before. And I actually think you had Odyssey on. Odyssey Coffee Roasters. I think my friend and I started during COVID. We had Odyssey, and I think pretty sure Beans actually sold Odyssey Coffee Roasters. Yeah.
We were actually their subscription. Yeah.
Oh, really brilliant. Yeah, I appreciate that. So that me and my friend Patrick set that up during COVID, and actually, sorry, just before COVID. Anyway, but I was obviously following Beans, and I seen you on the Instagram, and when you came back, you were setting up or relaunching my subscription business, but you're doing every day for 30 days, I think. Did you do a vlog every day for
I
trust? Send it to?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Because it's such a hard thing to do.
Oh, it's insanely difficult.
Yeah. So
I was having a breakdown at around day 23. I was like, and he had to try to tell him. My brother was like, "You got to do it now. You committed." So, yeah,
like brother, fair play to him. And what was the struggles? Was it just thinking of content ideas, or?
Yeah, and it's trying to be like as authentic in front of the camera as possible, and it's also, being in front of the camera every day for 30 days is exhausting as well, right? So, I did it mostly just to challenge myself. It was a good way to get the business back out there, and yeah, it definitely really helped me be more comfortable in front of the camera, because this is the new age that we're living in. This is how people promote their businesses. it's in front of the camera, and it's the new norm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely really helped. Would I do it again? Probably not.
Not anytime soon.
No.
But so from the outside looking in, I remember thinking he's serious about this. Yes, it's such a hard thing to do. So it's like he's going to put the effort in because, as you said, it would be easy to give it the towel or throw in the towel because you might think nobody's watching this anyway when there actually people is watching it. So on day 10, you're like, oh, nobody cares. But it's only after day 10 or like when you get to 30, you realize people were watching maybe or like even.
But definitely. I mean, my business is started from family and friends, and it still is that way. Like everything I put up on social media, there's always people saying, "Oh, I seen you were doing that. I seen you were doing that." So it is a closely knit group.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's almost like you're building a community.
Yes, nice and slowly. As I do really care about it, and I'm really passionate about it. So I just want it to be the best reflection of what I want beans to be. I'm not rushing anything.
Well done. And so, what does success look like for you then? What's like the best part of your job? Is it someone messaging saying that coffee was unreal, or what is it?
I think it's like a combination of things, really. It's just like, obviously, customer feedback is a massive success. But again, just touching on building relationships with roasters and, just it's the everyday tasks for me, even like I always write everything down and even just ticking them off, adding new features to the website, all of those things is success.
Yes.
And having a long-term vision. Like I know where I want beans to be in 2 or 3 years down the road. And so yeah, just working towards and taking the small steps in order to get to that bigger goal, and completing them is what success is. But for me anyway.
Really incredible outlook. And you're like, even just the fact you just said, just taking off the small tasks, that's an amazing outlook. Like, that's incredible. So
If I write it down, I always find it hell.
yeah, big time. I'm actually going to take that on board now. I'm going to do that as well. And then in the months leading up to your relaunch, how long did you know you wanted to relaunch? And was it always a case of when you stopped, you went to London, it was always in the back of your mind to start again?
I always wanted a relaunch. I remember but I was really, I basically said to myself, what did I not like? When I ran Beans in 2019, it was really difficult. I had a monthly subscription, and I found that like each month I would move from one month to the next month to the next month. And I was just passing through relationships with roasters. I wasn't really getting time to learn about the coffee. And it was too passive. I was stuck in like a cog. I was and I found that really difficult. So I always said to myself, when I launch Beans, I'm gonna I'm gonna assess what I did not like from my previous business when I had it, and make sure that I don't do it when I set Beans up. When I relaunch, make sure that I'm not doing those tasks. So I agreed never to do a monthly subscription. I looked at it again, and I just said, no, I'm not going back down that route.
Okay.
And I also said I wasn't going to do fulfillment. And so I was
fulfillment for people listening.
So packaging, orders, and delivery. If anyone remembers being in 2019, I was delivering coffee around Dublin. And that just took the life out of the business, took all the fun out of it. I should have been, more focused on promoting the business rather than on the operational side. So I have an amazing fulfillment center, and like we can pretty much guarantee next day delivery. If you order before 3 p.m., I can see the order gets fulfilled and will be with on post at 4 p.m. that day, meaning that it should be with you in the next morning.
That's great.
And yeah, so that like just understanding those things, like for me, what I did not want to do. And I was always in the copy community, even when I stepped away from it. But I knew I wanted to come back. It's just, I didn't know what version of that I wanted. So yeah, I was just really taking time to understand what I wanted Beans to look like.
Okay. Well done on it. I would say just come back. And then the events that you're doing, talk us through the process of them, how much even planning goes into them. and people you've worked with so far on them? Actually, sorry, before you jump into that, do you mind passing me the jug of that coffee because it's absolutely outrageous? Or, and thank you for bringing that to on more. So
Uh, yeah, sure.
yeah,
It was one of my fifth or sixth coffee today.
you deserve.
I know you can take the rest, ain't sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing this on. And sorry to put across you there. We are talking about events planning and all that good stuff.
Events. So they're always something that I wanted to do because I'm an online business. I don't get to meet my customers, and I wanted to add that little bit of a personal touch. I also wanted to share the coffees that I was tasting with my customers and explain how I was picking the coffees that will ultimately end up on the website. And then I wanted to share some knowledge, also trying to learn from people as well. Like there's a lot of knowledgeable people who come to these events and, share their knowledge, like roasters, for example. So it was just like a really nice way to bring everyone together and come full circle. And finally, I need to try and get the message of beans out there. So I've committed to doing an event every month. So we've done two in Dublin. Shout out to Hatch, who have hosted us twice, and Network Cafe. And we then went down to Cork and we did an event down there. And then we went to, last month we had an event in Evelyn, in Drogheda. That cafe is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping now to get back. I want to go up north maybe, up to Belfast maybe.
And then the coffee places.
Yeah, loads. Coffee scene is pumping up there. And I've got a lot of connections. So I'm going to reach out to a few of the cafes and see if they'd be interested in hosting. But yeah, in terms of work, there's not that much work that goes into them. I have all the coffees. Everyone meets at 6 and we put the coffees out and we essentially do a cupping, but I call them coffee tastings because they're a lot more personal. People who come to these events, some of them have never even tasted specialty coffee. They're just interested in learning about coffee. And it's also just a really nice social event as well,
Yeah.
So people, so I just call them coffee tastings, and yeah, the feedback and reactions from people, specifically when I put these coffees down, they're blown away.
Spoiled labels. It's not. You want to talk about this coffee one because it is outrageous.
Yeah, well, it was our limited edition coffee, from last month. It's a thermal shock Sidera. And yeah, I mean, what are you tasting?
Everything. It's literally like a dessert. It's so good. It's so sweet. The body's outrageous. Well, like the complexity is absolutely crazy. The raspberries coming through. Honestly, the chocolate now, it tastes like some sort of chocolate fudge cake almost. At the start, it was so.
Yeah, it's like a Turkish delight. And no, this coffee's insane. And I was telling you that like people would come onto the site, they'd buy one bag, and then within 2 or 3 days, I was seeing that they were buying 4 or 5 bags. So it obviously went down a treat.
Yeah.
And it was something really different. And that's what I'm trying to do with beans is I'm trying to find really interesting and unique coffees to bring on the platform. Coffees that you wouldn't typically see in Ireland. There may not be a massive market for this, but there is a niche there that want to try new and exciting things. So
I'm not surprised people went back on and bought it because I would definitely be buying that for friends. If I had coffee friends, I'd be like, you have to
it's
try it.
the most unique and interesting coffee that I've ever tried. And
Really, me too.
Cocktail cherry, raspberry jam, chocolate ganache, and like you can taste all of them. It reminds me of Turkish delight, which I absolutely love. But yeah,
I must reach out to them and tell them I tasted it and it's unreal because fair play. And then like you touched on people going to the events that have never tasted specialty coffee. How do you think they're seeing these events? And it has to be online. And if they've never tasted specialty coffee, you think they're hearing about it through a friend or how are they going?
I'd say it's a combination of online. I'd say mostly social media. Like I put a lot of effort into creating marketing assets and videos.
You can tell.
And then trying to target them to the right audiences.
You've done a
So
brilliant job, by the way.
cheers.
Your assets and that, I'm always like jealous of, to be honest. Like they're class, so well done.
I take a lot of pride in that stuff, and I do not release anything until like I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm very fortunate to have my brother who is extremely talented editor. And then I have friends who are also very talented photographers behind the lens and stuff. So yeah, I'm very fortunate, but I think the key there is quality over quantity and just like being taking your time with everything that you
Do you ever get
get out.
sorry? Do you ever get like paralyzed? What's the phrase? Like paralyzed by perfection?
And yes, I do. Yeah, all the time. Like a video that's 20 seconds, 30 seconds could take it 2 hours or 3 hours to record. Because you want to be as authentic as you can running, but there's nothing real natural about recording yourself and looking through a lens. It's difficult.
It's interesting you say that. So I have 2 points on that. So one is, at what point do you see diminishing return? So if you're taking 3 hours to make a 20-second video, at what point do you go, there's no return on investment on that? Like I didn't need to spend 3 hours on that. So yeah, that's the first question. And then the second one is around public speaking at the events. And so whichever order you want to answer them in.
Yeah, like I definitely think diminishing returns, for sure. The issue is that like you have to start somewhere, right? So it's going to take you 2 or 3 hours, but I'm now getting my ability to taste the coffee and explain what I'm tasting is getting better with time. And I'm finding that when I get in front of a camera and I try to explain what I'm tasting with this coffee, for example, I can get that message across to my audience a lot easier. And so, yeah, I think it just takes time. And I think diminishing returns and making mistakes, it's all part of the process. So, yeah, you got to start somewhere and just don't be afraid to post. You just got to post it and just keep posting it. We'll get better.
Yeah.
I don't think people look at the video and be like, oh, what an idiot. You know, like they're just flick straight through, you know, so don't think too much about it. And try and just get it out there. Public speaking at events, really difficult, I found, because I'm not a great public speaker. I've never really had much confidence speaking. But again, the more events that I do, the more confidence I get. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of keep doing it. And yeah, that's it.
You never did public speaking in your day job?
No,
nowhere before?
No, it's a massive challenge for me because I'm 9 to 5, a lot more behind the computer and just working behind the computer. And so then coming out and speaking in front of an audience of 50 people is daunting. But at the same time, you have to remember my events are social first. People are here to enjoy themselves. They're not trying to nitpick every word that I'm saying. It's just, yeah, get your message across and just move on and let people enjoy the night. And that's kind of what I find as well.
Great outlook as well, because it is a social event and people are there to enjoy themselves. Otherwise, why would they be there on a Wednesday evening? Or
yeah, they're not there for me. They're there to enjoy the event, meet people, taste coffees, and then people come up and ask me questions. Really, that's it.
And it is a cool thing, because I feel people are more looking for experiences now over let's say going for a casual point to be, let's go to a coffee tasting, being a host, and it's cool. We'll go do something rather than just go somewhere and have a point or go somewhere. So
they're a really nice event. And I don't know why more roasteries and more cafes don't do it and bring people together, because anytime I see an event like Sumo did one there last month, and it was brilliant. Me meet so many people at them, and like hearing and getting the knowledge from the roaster, getting the knowledge from the source. They're the ones who bought the coffee. They're the ones who roasted the coffee. That's where the knowledge is. So, you know, getting to meet Daniel and talking to him about his coffees, that's what it's all about. And so, yeah, I wish people would do it more. Competitions and all those latte art throwdowns, they're great, but I can't do latte art. I don't. They're not really for me.
Not yet.
No, I don't think so.
What aspect do you not like about it? Just the competing part, or
Yeah, I just don't think they're expensive. I haven't been to one, but what I can see online is like it looks like a competition where everyone's pointing to their favorite coffee. It's not very inclusive.
Mm.
Looks like there's a winner.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really look like they're more of a social event, that I would attend.
Yeah.
It's very competition focused.
Hmm.
And I think that's great for people who are in the industry, like baristas and stuff, who want to compete and get better. And
It's a very, very insightful way of looking at it. Because so you're essentially saying there's no events for the casual coffee drinker.
no,
There's
no.
yeah,
I always actually seen there's a cafe called AMFM, and now they're having like discos in their cafes. Have you seen that?
yeah.
And then there's another one in Barcelona. I forgot the name of it, but I bought coffee from them before. They're a roastery, and they're hosting parties in their cafe or in their roastery. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Okay, like people are looking for alternative things to do instead of going out and drinking.
Yeah.
You know.
big time.
So yeah, it is nice.
Good. I actually seen one of the cafes like a daytime rave. So
Yeah, and the baristas are there just handing out the coffees, and people are going off.
yeah, it's good. No, brilliant. It's definitely a sign of the social aspects of society changing now, which is good to see. Even I don't go out drinking as much. And
If you have your own business, it's very hard to sacrifice 2 or 3 days of a hangover.
Yeah.
So it's either one or the other for me at the moment.
fair,
You have to be 100% in.
responsible, man. Responsible adults now. Fair play to. And then do you know when the next event is?
I'm talking to a few cafes at the moment. I'd love to either get up to Late Cafe, which is ran by Ben Hamilton in Process, or maybe Established. You know those
Established, yeah. I don't know the other one. Which was the other one you said?
Ed Late Cafe.
Late.
Have you seen Process? And they have their coffee in like cassette tapes.
Oh yeah.
That's
not deadly.
well, Ben. I don't know if he owns or, but I associate him with Late Cafe. Like if he does own it.
Okay. There's some creative packaging out there now.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
It's
Really, really nice.
So then what's the future plans? So obviously you have events. Do you have any future plans other than
The future, I'm not trying to do what I'm doing at the moment is working and people are really enjoying it. I'm only 8 months back and I want to keep building what I have. And like we just launched Beans Marketplace, which is really nice. It is a curated collection of all of Ireland's specialty roasters. And we have some of Ireland's best coffees there. So that we launched that just before Christmas, and people are loving and buying a few coffees from the marketplace and then going for one of the limited edition coffees. That's working. And so I'm not going to change things too much. I'm just trying to build relationships. I'm very interested to see how I can use my skills in software engineering and apply them into the coffee world. So I'm trying to build a news. It's called Beans News, and this will have it'll be AI powered news aggregator, and so we'll essentially take the top coffee related articles from the top sources and host them on Beans News.
brilliant?
And so, basically we're scraping articles and then the articles get passed through an AI model. They get categorized and tagged under like sustainability, culture, events, competition. And then you can come onto the site and, filter, subscribe to the newsletter.
That's savage.
It will be I have the V1 up on the site at the moment. And I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with it. So it's just a matter of allowing the model to run for a few months, get more articles in. But yeah.
I really just coffee pricing at the minute.
Yeah. A lot of coffee price and a lot of competition. But yeah, no, I haven't seen anyone do it. And I think it'll just be a really nice place where people can go and get their daily digest of coffee,
Yeah, it's
especially on coffee juice. Yeah, sorry.
and you probably in the future, I know you don't, you just said you don't have it too much plan, just growing what you're doing, but like probably visiting different roasters around Europe and stuff, doing events in different places.
Doing events. I'm trying to just find the best specialty coffee and the most unique specialty coffees and get them up on my site and share them with my customers. That's what I'm trying to do. It's just find the best coffees out there.
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Do you have any you wanna say before any closing?
Any closing remarks? No.
Yeah, yeah.
And thanks, Emil.
No worries at all.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
I'm so impressed with what you've done. Your coffee is absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it is. Like all my customers have come back and who bought your coffee and said they absolutely loved it. And then the Kenya and the Brazil, unreal.
Thank you.
Really nice and daily drinker. The Kenya, are you sold out on that one?
Yeah, we sold out yesterday actually. So
Stunning coffee.
thank you.
And I actually only had someone last week talk about the Ethiopia, and we sold out that one as well. So I need to order more coffee.
And good to hear. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. And it's great to get the feedback, and particularly on a site like yours where people are trying so many different coffees, the fact that they've come back and said it. And yeah, thanks for coming on today. Best of luck with the rest of the year, all the events. I'll definitely help you get down to one. And if you're listening, definitely check out beans.ie, Instagram, all that good stuff, and check out the cooking events.
Darren, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Mark. Pleasure.